This is Larry with Living Like Larry. Today, we're here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we're at the final resting spot of someone very well known, very highly regarded in the legend, who is actually real. This is the gravesite of Mr. John Chapman, better known as Johnny Appleseed. Died on March 18th, 1845, here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And up here on the hill is where he's laid to rest. Thanks for joining me. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like them, subscribe. And if you hit the notification bell if you want to know when I have a new video show up. Again, I'm Larry. And thanks for joining me on my adventures to the Johnny Appleseed final resting spot. And here we are. As you see at the entrance, there's a sign that tells you a little bit about the life of Johnny Appleseed. As you walk up the hill here to his gravesite, it looks like there's some apple trees planted around it. The convention center there over on the other side, you can actually get here from the parking lot from there, where the actual drives to the location. And then we'll walk up here. This is Johnny Appleseed. He was born September 26, 1774 in Massachusetts. He died here in Fort Wayne, Indiana on March 18, 1845. He was known as an American pioneer who introduced apple trees to many states, including Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, West Virginia, as well as a small portion of Ontario, Canada. Go out here to the front, got a nice little stone walkway up in here. Got the plaque in fond memory of John Chapman, better known as Johnny Appleseed. Very simple site for him up here, but he was a simple man anyways, if you did research on him. And I know a lot of people, as the legend goes, thinks he just randomly scattered apple seeds to grow apple trees everywhere, and that is really not the case. Oh, if you look here, someone came and actually put an apple on top of his gravestone out of respect for him, I imagine. Very fitting. But yeah, he actually started nurseries out west, and he was known as a businessman back then, and he'd get out west before the rest of the pioneers, and he'd stake up property, and on that property he'd plant nurseries, start apple seedlings, and put fences around them to keep the wildlife out. And as he left, he would let the neighbors care for them when he came back to the east, and he'd go back and check on them and care for them, but he'd have the neighbors sell the seedlings for him, and I guess from what I see that he would charge 3 cents per tree per seedling, or he would actually plant it for you for 6 cents a tree, which I guess was probably pretty good money back then, adding it all up. As I said, he was a simple man. He didn't dress fancy. He was known to actually walk barefoot and wear a coffee bag with the holes cut out for the head and the arms. Loved animals. It's been said that he had a pet wolf that accompanied him on his trips. A religious man. He'd preach the gospel to people to get a night's sleep on the floor or supper. He preached the gospel, and he even preached the gospel to Native Americans, even hostile ones. And for that, they'd leave him alone. He'd go about his business. He was in the new church, Swedenborgian, and there's many festivals going on for him now. In his honor, all throughout the states that he's been, memorials placed at different spots for him. He said he was a very well-liked man. He said he wore a tin cap on his head for a hat, or a tin pot on his head. I don't know that that was true, but it seems to be. Some people say it's not. Uh, but again, very simple grave. And this is one of two spots. There was another spot that was located on the site where the cabin was, where he had passed away in. And many thought that that was where he was buried at, but this is the actual spot. There was people here when he was buried that would attest to that. He loved children, loved animals, even insects. And he's just he's a very good man. Many stories about his kindness to people, kindness to animals. But here's his gravesite, right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, in Johnny Appleseed Park. The park also runs along a river. It's really pretty. They have a campgrounds here. It's very easy to get to. It's on the northern side of Fort Wayne. But so if you're ever in the area, you can stop by here, pay your respects to Mr. Johnny Appleseed. Even got an apple engraved on his headstone. And yes, he lived for others, as it says.